Hello everyone, and welcome back. I'm Kristen, your cruise director, and this is The Point at Colonial Plaza in Harrisburg, PA, which is not the mall that this video is about. Everybody say hi to Sal and Brandon. I do not have a full video on this mall because, like an idiot, I left my camera in my hotel room. I shot this on my phone. So after this, the rest of the crew went to the ruins of Harrisburg Mall, and I went back to my hotel to get my camera. So now, at long last, we're here at Colonial Park Mall, which is honestly a very attractive mall with a decor that dates back to 1990. While I'm watching this footage, the biggest thing that sticks out to me is that I was here right around lunchtime and I obviously walked into the food court. There was this overwhelming, very pleasant scent of warm, fresh rice that just engulfed you, and I swear I can still smell it while I'm editing this part. It was very, very nice. Colonial Park has really been around a long time for a retail center and has had many eras and identities over the years. Colonial Park Plaza, as it was originally called, opened in 1960. It was built on the former Colonial Country Club property as they had moved to a different plot of land. It was a prime example of the type of retail center you'd expect to find in 1960. It was developed by one of the first supermarket chains in the country, Food Fair, which served as one of the two anchors alongside Sears. It was open air, shaded by canopies, and dotted with mid-century abstract planters. Food Fair was founded in Harrisburg, starting as a small family-owned butcher shop, and opened their first supermarket in 1933. The Colonial Park Plaza project was also a big step for them. It was their first multi-retailer development, and the Food Fair store itself boasted some new offerings. The supermarket at Colonial Park was the 432nd location in the chain and spanned most of the eastern seaboard. Some of the things being offered in what was being marketed as a supermarket were pretty innovative for the time. In addition to seafood caught the day before, they offered an array of soft goods, housewares, toys, and clothing, suggesting this may have been an early attempt at something resembling the supercenters nearly all of us shop at today. And it wouldn't be attempted on a larger scale nationwide until at least a decade later. Colonial Park Mall was also home to a Woolworth paired with a Harvest House cafeteria and a store called Junior Shoe World that had a duck pond with real ducks behind glass. At the grand opening on November 9, 1960, a bevy of prizes were given away that included a 4-foot by 9-foot dollhouse and a $1,400 Westinghouse entertainment center that included a TV. 4-foot by 9-foot, my goodness. I'm pretty sure my first car was smaller than that, and it probably weighed less than that Westinghouse did too. The opening day circular really included a lot of details about the construction, what materials were used, what colors they were. The awnings were 10 feet high, painted a tasteful blue. The planters were amorphous. I wasn't able to find any color photos, but the writer painted quite a picture. They were clearly someone with a lot of enthusiasm for design, and I gotta say, 75 years later, I appreciate their efforts. They went to great pains to explain that a very unique grading job was done on the parking lot to make the Food Fair store a centerpiece from the main road. The lot originally sloped upward toward the mall from the road, and most of the storefronts were not visible. Their solution was to grade the front parking lot downward in what was described as a gradual soup bowl. It's very unusual looking from outside, though. This Bonton location, originally a Pomeroy's that was added to the mall in 1973, was kind of built into the parking lot, and it looks really weird. In 1970, the open-air Colonial Park Plaza was enclosed, and once again, that legendary reporter at the Harrisburg Evening News was there to give us a detailed fawning description of the construction and decor. So it seems only right that I give you an equally detailed fawning summary of their write-up. The entire concourse of the newly enclosed mall was carpeted, and the new heating and air conditioning system was a major selling point. The remodel added about 10,000 square feet of additional leasable retail space in what they refer to as the Sears complex. Lathrop Douglas, the architects behind the original plaza, were invited back to help their creation enter its next era. The theming, according to them, was friendship through the 4 seasons of the year. The central entrance to the mall, or the Esplanade as they called it, had a vaulted ceiling 18 feet high and measuring 60 by 100 feet. The center court was home to a gaily decorated carousel surrounded by a gracefully scalloped canopy revolving around 6 life-size, brightly painted puppet horses. And they were sure to point out that no, these were not papier-mâché props. Oh no, these would be used by tots visiting the center. They also had a closed-circuit TV quartet console, 4 TVs playing various shows for the young and old, flanked by benches. The ceiling was decorated with what they described as an Indian pattern of orange and red acoustic tile. This was 1970s, so you can absolutely imagine the sort of color palette that was going on in here. The article also updates us on the status of the Food Fair Company, who by 1970, a decade after Colonial Park was their first, had opened 44 more shopping centers anchored by their grocer. By 1979, however, the entire chain had filed for bankruptcy. Their space at Colonial Park was converted to additional mall space and later a movie theater. The mall was sold to Catalina Partners LP, who operated the mall until 1997. And now it's time for a break for me to show you the thing that makes the internet go round. They have kitties at Colonial Park Mall. Baby kitties in a pile. I had to go see the kittens, and then everybody else showed up an hour later, so I had to take them on a trip to see the kitties, and now I'm showing them to you. I'm the worst. I'm one of those childless cat ladies they warned you about. Anywho. The next addition to the mall's footprint after the addition of Pomeroy's in 1973 was Boscov's, the mall's only open anchor space that opened in 1987, and it's Boscov's. It's charming, it's vintage. You walk into Boscov's and you feel like you're a kid being led around by your mother buying school clothes, and you're going to go home and run through the sprinkler and eat popsicles, and life is simple again. I'll be honest, I'm not really comfortable filming inside of department stores, especially when the most interesting parts of a lot of Boscov's are the children's department. I don't want to have to explain myself to some concerned parent about why I am taking video in the kids' clothes section, so I apologize, but I didn't shoot any video inside. In 1990, a large-scale remodel and renovation took place. The grand opening was held on May 6, 1990, in time for Mother's Day. They added a new wing, a new main entrance, and a food court mostly carved out from the former Woolworths. The name at this time was officially changed from Colonial Park Plaza to Colonial Park Mall, despite having been enclosed 20 years earlier. They wanted to convey a modern image, and by the 90s, Plaza brought to mind, well, what Colonial Park originally was. In 1990, Pomeroy's was purchased by the Bon-Ton, and their location at the mall was changed. And that is what the mall looks like today. It hasn't really changed in any meaningful way since, other than slowly lose tenants throughout the 2000s. In 1997, Catalina Partners LP sold the mall to Glimcher Realty Trust, a Columbus, Ohio-based company that was purchased by Washington Prime Group in 2015. They held on to the mall until 2017 when it was sold to... Again? Really? Well, buckle up. In 2017, the mall was sold to Kohan Retail Investment Group. In 2018, Bon-Ton closed, and in 2021, Sears closed. The mall shed nearly 50% of their occupied spaces under their ownership. And then, they did what they do. They ran up overdue bills, repeatedly. In 2023, the mall was threatened with a sheriff's sale when they managed to rack up over $300,000 in unpaid sewer, administrative, and stormwater fees, which they paid at the last minute to avoid the sale. In 2024, they were threatened with auction again, only to have the auction canceled at the last minute, and for the firm to retain ownership of the mall, they were rapidly running into the ground. Also, there's a lawsuit from 2024 in which a manager alleged racial discrimination and sexual harassment taking place at Colonial Park Mall. The company are alleged in the complaint to have not taken action to stop or punish the offenders. Ultimately, the woman was fired and filed a lawsuit seeking damages, which they did not respond to, and under which she was awarded a default judgment that included $35,000 in punitive damages. Great company, run by a great guy, let me tell you. Colonial Park was sold finally in September of last year. It's operated by a Massachusetts real estate professional named Zi Quanzhang, who owns about 30 trampoline parks. He wants to turn the old Bonton into a trampoline and amusement park and then subdivide the remaining space for lease. Just last week, he placed the mall structure back on the market, admitting he's running into some difficulties with local officials and isn't sure revitalizing the mall is something he's prepared to do. So, if you're in the market for a pristine 90s mall that's about to have a new trampoline park attached to it, you're in luck. One is available. In the article announcing the new sale, it stated that the mall has 52 vacancies and 26 tenants, making it roughly 33% occupied, and it has 33% of its anchors occupied as well. Even since I visited, this mall has shed a few tenants. The fire grill you saw when we walked in closed in November, about a month after I was here. But we're reaching the end of our tour, and I just want to say I got to see the best part last, so let's talk about something more pleasant. I'm horrible. I can't help myself. I fangirled over the bikes. The people who follow me on Blue Sky know what I'm talking about, which, with all the weird stuff going on with various platforms, I've streamlined, and if you want to just see me make bad jokes and announce videos, come follow me on Blue Sky. Link in the description. But yeah, an entire store space full of really cool, colorful old bikes is here next to the Boscov's fountain. Caribbean Blue, the Great Blue Dini. The addition of the dye is just so whimsical. That's the only word I've got for it. They do it because it's pretty, and it's fun, and it creates the heightened sense of reality that we should expect from our shopping mall experiences. The best places are where you feel like someone just cranked up the saturation on real life. And this is one of them. This is one of my top 5 things I've filmed in a mall. No exaggeration. I ran out of footage to talk over, so thanks for watching. Give us a like and subscribe. You made it all the way here. Come on, you know you want to. As always, I'm your cruise director, Kristen, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.